Son yılların en iyi dizilerinden biri bitti. Başyapıt Andor ikinci sezonuyla final yaptı. Gerçekten hasiktir dostlar. Yok böyle bir dizi. Şimdi neden diziyi izlemezseniz eksik bir insan olacağınızdan bahsedeceğim. Dizinin oyuncuları ve yazarlarıyla yaptığım röportajı paylaşacağım. Merak etmeyin. Diziyi çok sevmemin sebebi oyuncularla röportaj yapmam değil. Şu ana kadar bir sürü dizinin ve filmin oyuncularıyla röportaj yaptım. Ama Andor şu ana kadar ekibiyle konuştuğum en iyi işti. Diziyi açtığınızda ilk birkaç bölüm hikaye sizi çok içine çekmeyebilir. Dizi sıkıcı mı diye düşünebilirsiniz. Büyük ihtimalle herkes gibi sizin beyninizde sosyal medyada vakit harcamaktan yandı. Seyirciyi salak yerine koyan diziler izlemeye alıştı. Bu yüzden Andor'un ilk bölümlerini izlerken biraz sıkılıp bu diziyi niye bu kadar övdüler diyebilirsiniz. Ama izlemeye devam et. Zaten sezon ilerledikçe dizinin kalitesi de artıyor. Andor bir casusluk, politik bilim kurgu dizisi. Galakside giderek güç kazanan, baskıcı güçlere karşı gelmeye çalışan direnişçilerin hikayesini anlatıyor. Başkaları özgürce yaşayabilsin diye kendi hayatlarını feda eden insanları izliyoruz.
And what do you sacrifice?
Calm, love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless space. I burned my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see.
Dizi Star Wars evreninde geçiyor ama diziyi izlemeniz için Star Wars bilmeniz gerekmiyor. Dizinin ana karakteri Andor'u Diego Luna canlandırıyor. Kendisine Andor'un neden direnişe katıldığını sorunca şöyle cevapladı.
What do you think makes your characters go into this journey, this resistance?
I guess because they have a conscience. They understand what community means. They grew up in a place where they felt they belong, and then they saw that in danger. They understand what the beautiful thing of belonging to something bigger, you know, I guess.
Yeah.
Dizinin yazarı Tony Gilroy, Andor'u yazarken Fransız devrimi ve sosyalist devrimi gibi bir sürü gerçek devrimden örnek almış. Andor'da tarih boyunca gördüğümüz ülkelerin para için kendi ülkelerini veya başka ülkeleri sömürmesi, sınıfsal çatışmalar ve güvenlik adı altında insanların özgürlüklerinin kısıtlandığı faşist rejimler yazar Tony Gilroy'a ilham olmuş.
He's writing a manifesto. Apparently the only thing keeping us from liberty is a few more ideas.
It's so confusing, isn't it? So much going wrong, so much to say, and all of it happening so quickly. The pace of repression outstrips our ability to understand it, and that is the real trick of the imperial thought machine. It's easier to hide behind 40 atrocities than a single incident.
Röportaj sırasında Bix karakterini canlandıran Adria Arjona'ya dizide aynı anda hem cesur hem de sürekli bir tehditten korkarak yaşayan karakterinin ikiliğini nasıl yansıttığını sordum.
In this season, we see your characters like paranoid, scared, but also like brave and loving. As actors, how did you balance that? Because like it's really hard to feel these at the same time. How do you show that?
I mean, I think these characters are brave in their core for what they are doing, but it's a lot more complex. You know, there's fear that comes involved in being brave. I think being brave is not just one thing, right? I think you're brave, but you're also so scared and paranoid, and you hope everything sort of works out. So I think, as a performer, I think it's all the complexities of the responsibility of the generations that come after you. I think bravery is terrifying.
Yeah, they understand what loss means, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and understand the risk behind following your dreams, you know, in a galaxy where things are becoming very dark, you know, where freedom is in jeopardy.
Aslında Star Wars hep politik bir seriydi. Her şeyi tüketen ve sömüren Amerika, Star Wars'un hikayesini de bir oyuncak, bir sembol haline getirip sattı. Yazar Tony Gilroy, ışın kılıcı kullanmadan yetişkinlere yönelik bir hikaye anlatarak Star Wars'un aslında ne olduğunu, dünyada artan aşırı sağcılığı ve diktatörlükleri seyircilere hatırlatmaya çalışıyor. Biz de Gilroy'a baskıcı imparatorluğun ve direnişin neler üstüne kurulu olduğunu sorduk.
What do you think the empire is built on, and what do you think the resistance is built on?
The empire is, as all empires and all authoritarian, I mean, it's greed, it's a lack of empathy, disregard for community, it's an appetite to control and consume. Usually it's a collective of people that are very afraid of chaos and afraid of confusion that have banded together to find a system that's going to beat that down. In the same way, revolutions and insurrections, they're all very different and they all have very different issues, but at the bottom of it is people just refusing to be controlled. That's a very complicated question. That's a very quick answer to that, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Dizinin adı Andor olsa da aslında bir sürü ana karakter izliyoruz. Ana karakterlerden bazıları şöyle. Tüm direnişi yöneten ve bu sırada antikacılık yaparak kimliğini gizleyen Luthen.
They're gonna find you, Luthen. You act as if we had a choice. Eventually they'll hang us both. We set that course the first time we met.
Zengin ama bir şeyleri değiştirmeye çalışan milletvekili Mon Mothma. Baskıcı güçlerin kuklası olan ama aslında tek istediği dünyaya adalet getirmek olan polis Cyril Karn ve direnişçileri yok etmek için deli gibi hırslanan Dedra Miro. Sürekli hikayesini tekrar eden dizilerin aksine Andor'un hikayesi sürekli bir ilerleyiş halinde. Bu yüzden 2 sezon boyunca bir sürü farklı mekanda çok farklı karakterlerle tanışıyoruz. Dizideki her oyuncu rolüne inanılmaz yakışıyor. Gördüğümüz her karakter bize bu dünyayı biraz daha gerçekmiş gibi hissettiriyor. 1. sezonun ortalarında karşımıza çıkan Kino'nun hikayesini hiçbir zaman unutmayacağım. 2. sezon 12 bölümden oluşuyor ve her 3 bölümde bir hikaye 1 yıl atlıyor.
Every 3 episodes in the season we see like a year go by. How did it feel to read it on the script, and when you were acting, like, how was it?
It was for me. It was a little challenging because how much do you grow in 1 year, right? Like if I've seen it been done so many times in film or in other TV shows where it jumps 5 years, and you can make physical changes, you can make emotional changes, but 1 year, and it got me thinking. How much do we really change in just 1 year? But when so much is sort of happening around, the changes are evident.
It is challenging, and it's challenging also for the audience, but in a good way, You become part of the storytelling, and in such a rich story, it's an ensemble. You have so many characters, and there's so many layers that you can focus in one or the other as audience, This format asks for you to fill those blank spaces, and I think that's cool from Tony's writing. He's inviting audiences to create with him what's behind the decisions of all these characters, and what is this revolution like.
Andor'un dünyasını daha gerçekçi yapabilmek için Tony Gilroy olabildiğince çok gerçek mekan kullanmış. Tabii sonra görsel efekti kullanarak bazı eklemeler yapmışlar. Yine de bu karar çok önemli. Mekanlar sadece görsel efektle yapıldığında seyirci karakterlerin gerçek bir dünyada olmadığını çok rahat fark ediyor. Dizide en çok kullanılan gerçek mekanlardan biri brutalist mimarisiyle Londra'nın popüler mekanlarından The Barbican. Burası birkaç apartman ve bir kültür sanat merkezi barındırıyor. The Barbican'ı depresif ve kalabalık gezegen Coruscant için kullanmışlar. Londra'nın yeni finans bölgesi Canary Wharf'ta baskıcı rejimin depresif karargahı için kullanılmış. 2. sezon 9. bölümün geçtiği meclis binası sahnelerini ise İspanya'nın Valencia şehrindeki bilim merkezinde çekmişler. 2. sezon 8. bölümde gördüğümüz Gorman gezegeninin ana meydanı içinse sıfırdan bir set inşa etmişler. Gezegenin mimarisi ise Milano ve Paris'ten örnek alınmış. Çay bardakları da Türkiye'den. Dizideki en zengin ve ayrıcalıklı karakterlerden ikisi milletvekili Mon Mothma, kuzeni Vel Sarta. Ancak karakterler buna rağmen direnişe katılıyor.
What have we done, Val? We've chosen a side. We're fighting against the dark. We're making something of our lives.
Diğer oyunculara sorduğum gibi Faye Marsay ve Genevieve O'Reilly'e de karakterlerinin neden direnişe katıldığını sordum.
I think for Val, it's a rejection of how she was brought up and the values in that world, and the things that seem to matter in that world do not matter at all to Val. And also she sees oppression from that high point of view, that privileged point of view. It's, if your eyes are open from that viewpoint, it must be very obvious looking down and seeing what's going on, and I think that doesn't sit well with her. And I think she has Mon as inspiration and influence, and together the two of them want to be on the other side of that.
I think how we start season 2 with these two characters is to really understand that privilege and that orthodoxy that they have come from. And you can see that they, through their lives, have made choices to willfully step away from that orthodoxy and to step into a socially progressive, generous way. It seems to be what is driving them, and anti-empire. They really see perhaps value in moving against the empire rather than succumbing to it. And And I think what's wonderful about this season is that you see how steeped they were in that and how brave these two women in very different ways have been to navigate their lives away from that.
Baskıcı rejim için çalışan Krennic'i canlandıran Ben Mendelsohn'la en sinir karakter Dedra Miro'yu canlandıran Dennis Goff'la konuşmak da keyifliydi. Bilmiyorsanız bu röportajları Londra'da bir otelde yaptık. Genelde bu röportajlar için stüdyolar bir otelin tüm bir katını kiralayıp oyuncuları farklı odalara yerleştiriyorlar. Oyuncular tüm gün bir odada oturup gazetecilerle konuşuyor. Genelde her gazetecinin 5 dakikası oluyor ve biri çıktığı an odaya başka bir gazeteci giriyor. Röportaj başlamadan Dennis Goff'a nasıl tüm gün 1000 soruya cevap veriyorsunuz diye sordum ve o da şakayla ve gerçekle karışık çok para alıyoruz diye cevapladı. Ama sonra diziyi gerçekten ne kadar sevdiğini anlattı. Çünkü oyuncular kötü bir filmde oynasalar bile genelde bu röportajları verip o filmi veya diziyi tanıtmak zorunda kalıyor.
I love this show, so being in a room for however many hours we're in this room talking about it is I'm good with that. There have been rooms I've sat in when I don't like the thing. That's worse, believe me.
Same when we were in the waiting room with the other journalists. Everyone is like talking about what happened in the like first season, second season.
That's
and
good.
like sometimes it's just quiet and you are just waiting to do the interview. But like in this one everyone is like
no, we're all excited about this one. It's good. We're all in it together.
So like your characters are in the Empire, they are working for the Empire, and do you think like can they love?
Can they love?
Is like love,
yes,
are
yes,
they capable of love?
They absolutely are capable of love. But is that something that we investigate in here? I guess we do.
For me, yeah, but I don't know if... I think it depends on what... Like, love is so personal to the self. Right? So her idea of love is not necessarily what my idea of love is. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I can't work it out with her, if I'm honest. Like, I find it really... When I watched it, I thought, oh my God, this woman can't allow herself to do what I would love her to be able to do, but she can't. She's not built that way. She does as much as she's capable of doing, but I don't think it's ever like skipping off into the meadows, hand in hand sort of thing.
I see. Why your characters are sided with the Empire?
Why we are sided with the Empire?
I'm born into it. I'm pretty much
No choice.
Dedra is in it from such a young age. She's indoctrinated. Why is Krennic in there?
Also think the Empire is a place where things happen and there are possibilities, etc., etc. The rebellion or being outside the Empire is more difficult and challenging. So I think it draws you in, if you like, you know. You dip your toe in, you go a bit further, etc.
Andor'un bence en iyi özelliklerinden biri bölümlerin başındaki dizi özetleri. Evet, çoğu dizide bu özet oluyor. Ama Andor'un özetleri gerçekten diziye farklı bir bakış açısı sunuyor. Biz de dizinin yazarı ve yaratıcısı Tony Gilroy'a bunu sorduk ve kendisi çok heyecanlandı.
I wanted to know about the recaps also. Do you have input? Because like they are such a great in some of the shows.
The recaps that previously on? Yeah. I'll tell you, it's really fascinating. We had the cutting room was not that far away here up in Soho. So we have a massive cutting room with 4 different cutting rooms and all the different editors. We have lots of assistants. Many assistants. So my brother John is sort of the overlord of the whole editorial department. They do this really great thing where the assistants cut all the previously ons. Wow. And we have every week or 2 weeks, we watch them and we critique them. And we all get together and some of them go through 5, 6, 7 versions and they all take ownership of it. It's a really cool process that they start up. It's really fun, and they feel really invested in their assistants all week long. But they get to do this thing, and they take great pride in it. So if they have an extra sheen to them, it's because the people that are making them are really care about showing off to us, you know. And they know they have to sit in a room with a jury of all everybody's in there like, I don't know. It's a really cool tradition. I don't know if other people do that or not, but that's how we did.
Hey, it was really nice to see like the scenes with a different perspective. Episode ends with techno music in one, but the recap it's like a different. So it's like
there's a real art to it. It's really you can spend a lot of time thinking. And I never had to do it before. The first show I've ever done on it. So I don't know how other people do it. This is how we did it.
Dizinin en önemli karakterlerinden Luton'u canlandıran Stellan Skarsgård da karakterin direnişe katılmasını şöyle yorumladı.
First of all, it's a reaction to what he's been through, and he quits something. He's had enough. And then it is about Clea, and it is the child that changes him, really. He could probably have become something. But those scenes shows not only how he is developing her, but also how she is developing him. Her refusal to forget and compromise. And he's trying to give her as a gift he's presenting to her.
Tarihte insanlar her zaman baskıcı rejimlere karşı gelmek zorunda kaldı.
How does it feel to like be in a show that's so timeless? Because like when you are shooting it, there are stuff happening around the world that are similar, or there been stuff, and there is going to be probably, and the show is about that. So when you are in it, how does it make you feel?
I think it's really important to acknowledge that empire has been part of human history for as long as we've been around. I think that it crosses cultures, that it crosses continents, that it crosses ages. That empire is probably a very real and a very ugly part of our humanity. And that raw exercise of empire, which is usually violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
very
doing
much.
this. Have a great day.
Thank
I
you.
love the
Lovely
season.
to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Safe home.
Yeah.
Lütfen Andor'u izleyin. İzlediyseniz bu videoyu paylaşın ve kendinize iyi bakın.